Hello and welcome back on Talk of the Town on Access 7, brought to you by SGEU. I'm your host, Ella Denson. And on the show today with us is Pastor David Yamba and Tara Yamba with the Wellspring Victory Church. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that you people have come from quite a distance originally. I know it was back in 1998. You came from the Sudan and India. Now, what brought you to Canada, and more specifically to Saskatchewan and Regina?
Yeah, I left my hometown. That was 1990. I went to India.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I left my hometown running away from the military.
Oh, yes.
Compulsory military training. So I was in India for 8 years. And I met my wife in India.
Yeah.
And then we were there, and then I couldn't go back, because if I go back...
You were a refugee, and had you gone back, you may have been arrested.
So I went to the Canadian embassy and asked if I could move to Canada.
Asylum?
So that's how we got here in 98.
Oh, I see.
And then we landed in Moose Jaw.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Now, why did they send you to Moose Jaw?
Well, if somebody's helping you out, you just go where you
go.
Want to.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know that you have 3 children, but you had one. Your eldest son was just a few months old at that time, and so there was the 3 of you that came.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now you are having you were hosting a business luncheon fundraiser. So Tara, perhaps you can give us some practical information on the date, time, and the place, and the cost of tickets?
Sure. The business luncheon will be on April 23rd at 12 o'clock, and it'll be at the church, which is 1280 Cameron Street.
Okay.
It's on 7th Avenue in Cameron.
Okay.
And the fundraiser is primarily to raise funds for the purchase of the building that we are going to be acquiring, the one that we're in.
Right.
Because we have a vision for the North Central community, and we want to start a daycare, and my husband has a big vision, and the building is a beautiful building with a large kitchen, and so we're looking at starting various community projects in that building. So there is no fee for the fundraiser itself, but we're hoping to raise funds as people come in for the luncheon, that they will see the vision and they will tie into that.
Oh, I see. And pledge.
Yeah. And pledge
Some money. Yes. Yeah. And perhaps Pastor David, you could speak about what your vision is.
Yeah, I came here to Canada in 98, and then I was in Moose Jaw. I worked as an associate pastor for the Victory Church in Moose Jaw for 7 years.
Oh, yes.
And then we moved to Regina. We felt called to come here.
Right.
And so we came here in 2008, and we started the church in our home, 6 of us.
Oh.
That was 2008, and today we have 60 people attending.
Good for you.
And so we found that building was empty, so we asked the owners. They rented it to us, and we've been renting it for almost a year now. And so they came to us and told us they wanted to sell.
Oh.
And so they said, but we will give you the first offer. And we kind of said this, we are caught off guard. We are not prepared. So we thought, what can we do so we can own the building? Because the vision is very clear. We want to put a daycare in there. We have kids club that goes. We have
shelter, possibly.
And then things like to reach out to the community. Like this Sunday, we are having a community-wide barbecue outside.
Oh, I see. I saw that in the paper. Yes.
Hoping that the weather helps us.
That the weather will comply, and then for people to attend and perhaps pledge towards your building, because you definitely want to stay in the building.
We want to stay there. It's a very strategic place, and we feel that the message of the cross and the gospel has to be taken to a place like that. And of course,
the inner city.
Yeah, we heard people say, don't go there, that place is hard. But we believe that, if I'm a soldier, the best place for me to use my gifts is Afghanistan.
Yes.
I mean, in a way. So I'm a Christian. I have faith that the people that are in Central Regina, instead of me living, going somewhere, I should go where they're at.
Where, yes.
So that's
and where the need is. And of course, you came out of political unrest, and you certainly have the fortitude and the spirit to then take on the difficulties that a neighborhood might have.
And we've been there for a year. We liked it. We've had great events in that place, and we just love it. We want to have that place.
Yes. And how do your children manage with the work that you do? And I would imagine, you live in the community, and your children attend school there as well?
Our children are doing quite well. They're used to the pioneering that we've done.
Oh,
the
they
past
are,
few years.
yes.
I just want to put a plug in for this Sunday as well. We have a Jolly Jumper, and so families will really enjoy that as well.
Okay.
And it's a very family-oriented church. We have a lot of young children there, and lots of young families.
Yes,
and so it will be a joy.
Yeah, and speaking of young families, you have your family off camera, and I think we're going to bring them on and you can introduce them to us.
Okay.
So our studio or our viewing audience know who everyone is.
This is Johan.
Johan, and he was the one who came with you from India.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's actually involved in the church. He's our drummer.
Oh, you are. Good for you. You've got a rock band going. Wonderful. And Esther. Oh, isn't that a sweet name? Hi, Esther. I'm Ella. And
this
who's
is little
this little guy? Isaiah.
Yeah.
Isaiah, that's a big name for a little boy. That really is. And you're going to help Mommy and Daddy at the barbecue on Saturday? That will be so good. Anything else that you would like to say before we go? How is school going?
It's good.
Is it? Yeah. What grade are you in?
I'm in grade 4.
Oh, grade 4.
I'm in grade 7.
And you're in grade 7. Now, if your brother's a drummer, do you play an instrument as well?
Well, I don't play on the beat worship team, but I do.
Oh, right, of course, yes. You're not mic'd, so the audience is not able to hear what you were saying. So perhaps you can repeat for them.
We put her in, she's learning the guitar, and she also plays keyboard. She's on training there. And my son got right into the drums because we didn't have one.
Yes.
So he got there, and in 2 months he was right on playing. So
well, it was such a pleasure to have you, Pastor David, and Tara, and your wonderful children, and good luck in your school year and with your drumming and music and so forth, and with your vision. And I hope you get the funds to build or to pay for your church.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming, and stay with us, and back in a moment.